Okay, hi. My name is Colin Ong.
One more, just one.
And I'm an economist and an educator. I'd like to actually quote from here. 40% of each cohort to go to university, up from 27%. I'd like to ask this question. I'm very afraid of inflation, inflationary pressure, but I'm also very afraid that we are also forgetting about people who have special needs. Because when you mention here 40% of each cohort to go to university, do we actually have a blueprint of helping people with special needs to also aspire to go to university? Now, if we do not have that kind of blueprint to help people with special needs to go to university, then could we actually sit down, be matured, and talk about minimum wage for people with special needs? The reason I say this very quickly is about a year ago, I saw a group of people who came from a special needs school, and they were washing cars. And they were smiling, they were very friendly, were washing cars. And there was a sign behind that said, please be patient. And I think that was, to me, I was very upset. If you see a person with special needs, the person is washing a car, the person is doing her best. And I asked myself this question, in 5 years' time, would that little girl with special needs still wash a car? Can we give her a chance to maybe go to a university? So we are always talking about university places, but what about people who have special needs? Do they deserve also a chance to go to university, local U? If not, why not? And if they can't go local U, can they actually handle inflationary pressure by 2020? Thank you.
Basically, I find that most Singaporeans are quite big-hearted. And your comments actually today, and which I agree with you, we have to learn how to treat people with special needs, elderly, handicapped better. I mean, what's the point of being a rich country if you can't treat those who are disadvantaged better, right? I mean, that's such a simple concept. But having said that, I will tell you that having dealt with the problem, because I was at MOM, where I had to deal with how to find jobs for exactly what you talked about, those with disabled and special needs. And then I went to MOE, and when I was there as a Minister of State, I was asked to directly look at the special education, and then when I went back as Minister, again we looked at it. I will tell you that it's just not only an issue of how much money or resources we spend. So I'll give you an example. For special education, each year we spend about 4 times more than we do the normal child. In other words, if I spend, say, $6,000 on per year in the primary school children, for special education, we were budgeting, we will spend 4 times, $24,000 a year, because that's what you need. But the whole process, the physiotherapists, the educational therapists, the schools, the care, that sector suffers from not getting enough Singaporeans to want to work in that region. And some of you are nodding your head because you know the problem. And it's not just quite money. And this cannot be a problem. I will tell you now, this cannot be a problem, and you know it. You say, government, you take care of these people, I will just step back. Because the amount of care that is required for a disabled child, and I'm a doctor, so I know, in a cerebral palsy child or a child with multiple handicaps, just how much resources you have to avoid contractures, increase mobility, help, is enormous. It needs a lot of passion and dedication. So I can imagine why if some people started out and says, well, but after a while they get burnt out. It says, I can't keep giving, and at some point, I have to take care of myself and my family. So to be fair to the workers, I'm not saying that we're making wrong decisions. I'm just pointing you the reality of it. And we just need volunteers and societies to say, I will adopt this, I will adopt that, so that all of us make the burden a little better and a little easier for all of us. But to me, that's one of the hallmarks of a gracious society. Not only how we treat foreigners, which is just one issue, how we treat fellow Singaporeans and those who are different from us. So I completely agree. We can always do better. We can always improve. Unfortunately, this is something that we will never stop finishing, and just let's keep getting better. I think we are better now than 10 years ago. better schools, better facilities. But I agree with you. I mean, we can always do better. At least now we have some barrier-proof, barrier-free access, but sometimes the slope a little bit, so a bit difficult. And let's just keep improving. But we keep the economy growing, I think we can improve. Just continue to spend more gradually so that it isn't a shock to the system. I think that's a more sensible approach.